It isn't good to listen to the flower, the little prince tells me one day. Never listen to flowers. You have to only look at them and smell them. My flower makes my planet beautiful. She smells so good. But I don't know how to like her. The story about the tigers makes me so angry. But it isn't good to take it so seriously. It is good to love the flower because she is so beautiful and she smells so good. He then continues, when we are young, we don't know many things. The flower makes my planet beautiful. It isn't correct to leave her. Now I know it. I believe that when the little prince leaves his planet, wild birds help him. He then continues, when we are young, we don't know many things. The flower makes my planet beautiful. It isn't correct to leave her. Now I know it. I believe that when the little prince leaves his planet, wild birds help him. On the morning of his departure, he prepares everything. He cleans his active volcanoes. There are 2 active volcanoes on his planet. They are very good when he needs to cook his breakfast in the morning. He also has 1 volcano which isn't active. But, he says, you never know. So he cleans this volcano too. If the volcanoes are correctly cleaned, there are no eruptions. Of course, on Earth people are very small. They can't clean volcanoes. And because people don't clean them, the volcanoes can be a big problem. Before his departure, the little prince also pulls the last little baobabs. He thinks that this is his last day on his planet. He doesn't plan to come back. He gives water to his flower. Then he brings the glass. At that moment, he wants to cry. Goodbye, he says to the flower. But she doesn't answer him. Goodbye, he says again. The flower coughs. But it is not because she is ill. I am sometimes stupid, the flower says. I am sorry. The little prince is surprised that the flower is sorry. He doesn't understand why the flower is nice to him. Of course I love you, the flower tells him. Maybe you don't feel that I love you. It is not your mistake. It is my mistake. It is not important now. But you are sometimes stupid too. Try to be happy. Don't put the glass on me. I don't need it. But the wind. The wind is not a problem. The night air is good for me. I am a flower. But the animals. I have to be stronger than 2 or 3 caterpillars if I want to see the butterflies. I think that they are very beautiful. If there are no butterflies here, who can visit me when you are so far? And I am not scared of big animals. I have my thorns. And she shows all of her 4 thorns to the little prince. Then she says, "Don't stand here. You want to leave. So go." She says it because she doesn't want to show her tears. She is a very proud flower. The little prince is close to the asteroids 325, 326, 327, 328, 329, and 330. So he visits these asteroids first. He wants to be busy. He wants to learn something. There is a king on the first planet. The king has nice clothes. He is sitting on a big chair. Ah, here is a visitor, the king says when he sees the little prince. And the little prince thinks, how can he know who I am? He doesn't know me. Come closer to me. I want to see you better, says the king. He is very proud that he is a king for somebody now. The little prince looks around. He needs a place where he can sit down. But the king's clothes are on the whole planet. So the little prince is standing. And because he is tired, he yawns. It is not good to yawn before a king, the king tells him. You can't do it. I can't stop it, says the little prince. My journey is very long, and I am tired. Then you have to yawn, says the king. People usually don't yawn before me. It is very interesting. Yawn again. The little prince wants to yawn for the king, but he can't do it now. He says, I am sorry. I can't yawn when you tell me to do it, says the little prince. The king is not happy because people must do what the king says. But because he is a very good man, what he wants is reasonable. Can I sit down? The little prince asks. I order you to sit down, the king says. And he pulls a piece of his clothes so that there is some space where the little prince can sit down. The little prince is thinking about one thing. The planet is very small. The king doesn't control much. Can I ask you a question? Says the little prince. I order you to ask me a question, the king says. What do you control? I control everything, says the king. Everything. The king looks at his planet. Then he looks at the other planets and all the stars. Are you the king of all? Asks the little prince. I am the king of all, says the king. He doesn't control only his planet. He is the king of all the universe. And do the stars do what you want? Of course, says the king. They do it fast. They do exactly what I want.